All right, y'all, we're in here in the living room and I'm getting ready to start nailing down these floors. The lumber that we are using for this floor came from trees that we cut down off of our property. We ended up with a lot of pine, oak, and some hickory. In this room, we are using oak. After we cut the trees down, we hired a guy that had a portable sawmill to come out to our property, and we sawmilled up a bunch of the logs. This lumber has not been kiln dried. It air dried for about 2 years, and also my uncle has a barn with a metal roof and a big attic, and in the summertime we hack these boards up in the attic and let them sit for about a month. So that was kind of our makeshift kiln. Before these boards could be used, they had to be planed. Dad planed them down to 7/8 of an inch. They also had to be ripped and then cut to the proper length. In order to close up the gaps between the board, I screwed down a block into the subfloor, and then I used wedges to push the board over as far as it would go. We are face nailing these boards. We pre-drilled each hole. We used a palm nailer to nail the nails almost all the way down, and then we finished with a hammer just so we didn't mark up the floor. These are the nails that we are using. They are a 3.5 inch square head nail. I will put a link for these down below. This block and wedge method that we used was not perfect. The blocks would move, the screws would bend and eventually break. So it ended up being a little bit aggravating, but they got the job done, and this is the method that we used for the flooring in the whole house. We had the location of the floor joist marked on the underlayment, and most of the nails that we put in these boards did hit floor joists. We always put nails on the ends of the boards, and sometimes those did not hit a floor joist, but they still got a hold of a 3/4 inch subfloor. All right, y'all, here's the floor all nailed down. It looks pretty good. It's not perfect. You know, it's not tongue and groove, so we're gonna have some gaps. And there were a few spots that were uneven, so like one board stuck up higher than another board, and on those spots we used the hand planer and we took down the high spots. So now all we have left to do is sand it, and then we're gonna do a tung oil finish, and I'll do a different video about that. But this is what it looks like all nailed down.